Philips D8734 was an absolute beast, 77 centimeters long with detachable speakers. It came out in 1982. Here's the catalog from that year. Now, Philips is a Dutch company, but this model was made in Austria, and it was very advanced for its time, including full logic decks and several features I haven't seen on any other model. It even appeared in the 007 movie A View to a Kill. There were a few other Philips products in that movie too, including a shaver and a voice recorder. Philips had several other models that year, including these two here, but they were all smaller than the D8734. For example, here's the D8634 on top of the D8734. It's a good looking box, but the D8734 takes the prize in terms of size. Inside its speakers are 17 centimeter woofers with interesting octagonal shaped baskets, and piezo tweeters mounted on horns. Now, the speaker walls are made of thin plastic, so bass heavy music might produce resonance. If that bothers you, you could try adding some fiber fill like this, or you could try adding a few strips of this. This material makes deep bass more prominent by reducing the mid-bass resonance coming through the plastic walls. Here's the amplifier chip. It's a Panasonic, making about 7 or 8 watts per channel. That might not sound like much, but most boomboxes from that time period only made like 2 to 5 watts per channel. One of the first things you'll notice about this model is the long row of LEDs above the tape decks. Starting on the left, there's an LED for each tape function, followed by the big VU meter, followed by another row of LEDs for deck B. These deck selector buttons are very unique. They allow this model to get by with only one set of controls. Just select deck A or B and then tell it what you want to do. Or select A and B to operate both decks simultaneously. You can even play both decks simultaneously, mixing their sound together using this fader control. And check this out, if you're using headphones, this control allows you to listen to a different audio source than the one that's playing on the main speakers. How much did it cost? Well, in the UK you could pick up one from Dixon's for about £200, which doesn't sound like much, but at the time that was about 2 weeks worth of wages. Only 1 year later, Philips replaced the D8734 with a single deck model. It was called the D8718, and it had the exact same dimensions, the same speakers, and the same amplifier, but only a single deck instead of 2. I guess Philips was trying to cut costs. Here's its tape deck, just one single deck, but it does have 2 features the D8734 does not have. The first is a music search feature with 3 buttons to skip back and 3 buttons to skip forward. And over in the right corner is a noise reduction button similar to Dolby. But honestly, I prefer the D8734, because how could you resist watching those 2 tape decks spinning and all those extra knobs, buttons, and lights?
Alright, I just want to give my thoughts on the Philips 8734. First of all, I had never even seen this before a few months ago. It was a European only release, so this one did not come to the States, and as a result it's a 220 volt power source box. But the thing that attracted to me first, obviously, was its looks. It's got the 2 separate tape decks with the controls in between, so it really gives it that home stereo look, home stereo feel. Then with the blue accents on the tuner, the blue speakers, the blue writing here on the cassette doors, and also uniquely on this one, it's got 2 individual tuner dials, which light up red at the top, and they go backwards. They start here and they go right to left instead of left to right, which is also unique. But what surprised me was it really has good sound. It's not going to overpower you, not in any stretch, but what it does do, it's got very smooth sound and very wide stereo. So when I'm listening to jazz or listening to something very light indoors in the boom room, this is a perfect box for that. It's decent outdoors, has decent power, but this I would consider more of an indoor listening box as opposed to a powerful outdoor listening box. But those who have them and who have heard how they sound generally don't part with them because these are very nice little radios.
It ain't like that, G. I'm trying to go straight and have a J.O.B. You need to quit that faggot ass job, that's what he said. Show me his grip and took some satin to the head. Damn, that nigga had at least 2 G's. And he was clocking it with so much cheese. I told him I was gone, so I'm headed in the house. Everybody knocked out, so I'm locked out. I go back to the front where my homies is hanging at. They offer me a cabbie sack so I can start slanging that. They say you ain't no hustler, I say don't doubt it. Hold that thought and I'll think about it. I bought myself a bucket, that's right, a bucket, bitch. Who you fucking my car on my dick? My lifestyle switched a bit, but my attitude didn't. I told all my old bitches good riddance. Cause when you got money, hoes come automatically. And no hoes don't do nothing but cause some status. See, I went from caddies to gas braids to a fade. I'm not special ed, but I had it made. Living the life of a baller carefree. Had bitches dying to sleep with me, you see. But I went bankrupt from all the spending and gambling. Business was getting slow, and I wasn't. They say you ain't no hustler, I say don't doubt it. Hold that thought and I'll think about it.